starting this vlog so randomly. No, it's not Sunday. It's Saturday night. It's my Sunday because I have to work tomorrow. I am currently reading Japanese Gothic. Enamored. It's so good. I'm on page 100. It is historical. It's ethereal. You're going to hear my cat in the background. So far, we are following two POVs. One is in the 1800s. Kind of got like a lake house vibe, but so much better. I haven't actually seen that movie, but basically there's a house that is kind of a portal between two time periods, and so we're following two POVs. It's just kind of shrouded in mystery so far, but the writing is gorgeous.
Monkey.
Anyway, I thought that I would pick up and do a little vlog this week because I'm doing a ton of research. I will do a little bit of an update on my writing journey when I'm up to it, when I'm sure you're not hearing my cat in the background as well as a ton of birds, because there are so many birds outside right now singing. All good things. I'm feeling great. I am starting a new project and I've taken the month of April to do a ton of research. It's about halfway through April and I still have a bit more to go. So this week is going to be focusing a lot on research, and I'll talk a little bit about that. I'll talk a little bit about my querying and how that went, because I'm officially done. Spoiler alert, went well. Got many fulls, which I was very, very pleased with. Don't currently have an agent. Totally fine. I'm gonna continue to be cozy and I'm gonna read. And I'm gonna listen to this bird. I hope you can hear it. And I'm going to have a very cozy evening. Let's have some fun wherever you are. I hope you're cozy. If not, get cozy, because I sure am. I just finished my workout, so I'm laying on the floor with my legs up in the air. I'm drinking my shake. I finished up Japanese Gothic. I really liked it. It was really, really good. I read it in like 2 days. Although I feel like this month that's just kind of what I've been doing. I think I've just been in such a big reading mood that I'm just finishing books really quickly. But it was phenomenal. Loved the writing. I loved the way the plot unfolded. Loved the themes. Kind of saw the twist coming. I don't feel like it's that much of a mystery, frankly. Sorry. Out of breath. I'm jazzed on that. That was a really good book. And now I am going to... There's so much cat hair where I am right now. I'm laying on the floor because I put my feet up at the end of every exercise. It just like feels so good on the lower back. I'm all over the place. I am going to take a shower and start my work week. My goal for this week in terms of writing is to continue on my research. So I have 2 research books that I really want to read this week, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in like 2 seconds. I don't honestly know why I decided to film an update other than to say that I finished Japanese Gothic and it was really good. So I'm gonna take a shower, talk to you in like 2 seconds. So a little bit higher if I can. I can't. Okay. Okay. Probably not. I have filmed a lot and I've deleted it every single time because I'm not writing. I feel like my life is not interesting because writing is what I share a lot online, and I haven't been doing it that much because I have been querying. I've filmed a querying update a bunch of times, and like I said, I've deleted the footage over and over again. And it's not because I'm like ashamed to share my journey, it's that I fear the interpretation of sharing my journey. What I mean to say by that is that querying is really hard, and people don't often understand how hard it is to get traditionally published, especially now in the publishing industry as it stands today. It's incredibly hard. It's like catching lightning in a bottle. I used to work in publishing. You know, the idea of having to get an agent, to then having to convince a publisher to take on your manuscript, and then on top of that to try to convince accounts to take a substantial number for you to even make a dent. It's incredibly hard. And I am so proud of how We Are the Dead did with querying, and I don't want to share that and have it be misinterpreted as a failure, because The fact of the matter is, it's incredibly difficult to get an agent. Trad publishing isn't the only way to get your work out there. It's the way that I'm currently trying, but it's not the way that I probably will end up getting my work out there. I will probably end up self-publishing my work because I'm just such an independent spirit that I just want to make my dreams happen for myself. And so here I am with a querying update. My goal for this querying process was to get a full. I just wanted to get a single full request because that means that my pitch was interesting enough and my writing samples were riveting enough that the most critical readers in the world that are agents were convinced to give it a shot. And so my goal was one full. I ended up getting 7. I got 7 fulls and I'm so unbelievably happy about that. We Are the Dead is still agentless. I've gotten incredible feedback. I'm gonna get this book out there one way or another. As of now, I have stopped actively querying. I pretty much am calling it done. Where am I now? I have spent the past couple weeks researching a new project. I've actually been thinking about this project. I don't know why I said project there. I have been thinking about this project for a long time, and I think just because I've been querying, it's been really, really hard to focus on another story. I am so ready to focus on another story now. It is a time period that I'm kind of diving into a little bit. You know, I know quite a bit about World War I, and that's what We Are the Dead and The Folk were both kind of loosely based on. I mean, We Are the Dead is basically, it takes place in World War I, but this is a time period that I don't really know a lot about. So I've spent the past couple months just kind of dipping my toe into various aspects of research, watching a lot of documentaries, reading a lot of scholarly journals, and reading a lot of books. And I'm slowly clawing my way through dirt and the sand and coming up with a plot, and I'm really, really excited about that. And unfortunately, life's not that interesting when I'm not writing. The goal for this week, as I said, I finished Japanese Gothic, loved it. That book has nothing to do with my research. That was just a fun book. But I have 2 books right now that I really want to read through. One of them is a woman that I am currently enamored with. I am obsessed with her. I can't believe how unknown she is, and it makes me so mad. And that is Sonora Babb. I recently read Grapes of Wrath and I loved it. I've really fallen in love with Steinbeck this year. Let me tell you a little bit about my project first. I'm sorry, I'm going all over the place. I'll tell you quickly about my project because it will all make sense. It is a horror that is going to be set in the 1930s. I think there's going to be a little bit of a cult scenario. Basically like the same as We Are the Dead. Historical horror with a little bit of romance, a little bit of literary. My bread and butter. I love it. Because that's what my book is about. I read Grapes of Wrath earlier this year and I loved it. I love Steinbeck's writing so much. But through my research, I discovered that Steinbeck actually borrowed notes from this woman who was a journalist at the time, but also was writing a book and who spent a lot of time in migrant camps. And she grew up poor in Kansas in basically a dugout with a gambling addicted father. She was a phenomenal writer, and her boss basically told her to give her notes to this really, really famous writer who was visiting the migrant camps and writing about them, and she did. And as such, her book, whose names are unknown, was not published for 20 plus years because Steinbeck took her notes, used them with Grapes of Wrath, published Grapes of Wrath. It was a massive success, and all the publishers basically told her, I'm really sorry, but I don't think your book will fit in to the market right now because I just don't think there's more room for another book about this topic, even though one of the agents basically said, I think you are a better writer. Anyway, it's enraging, but I've been reading through so many books about her and so many books from her, and this is one of them. Brilliant. She's so good. Oh, she was born in Oklahoma. Sorry, not Kansas. I don't know why I thought Kansas. About a family during the Great Depression who loses their farm and then migrates to California. And so it takes place in part as the disaster of the Great Depression was unfolding, and then the second part is them migrating and all of the horrible things that they faced, like incredible prejudice and exploitative jobs, insane poverty and starvation. This is basically walking it through the second half of that book, and I'm very excited about it. I read through On the Dusty Plate Trail, which is basically a book that is all of her notes. And oh my gosh, as I was reading it, I was like, this just feels like Grapes of Wrath. It just feels like Steinbeck just took her emotion. And I read her biography, and the biographer, I'm forgetting her name, basically was like, Steinbeck may not have known that it was her work because her boss was the one that ultimately gave it to him, or maybe he did and he just dismissed it because he was like, She's a woman. And then the second book is a fiction. I actually know very little about this, except for the fact that it is kind of like a Dust Bowl fantasy. This is called What Blooms from the Dust by James Markert. I also really like to read comic books, and I like to read fiction as I am preparing my research. This is a long update. Let's get into it. I'm gonna start reading both of these books today, and I will give you a little bit of an update on how I've been going along. It's hard to tell if she's sleeping or not. Oh, she's not sleeping. Oh, she's not sleeping. You sweet girl. I feel like my kitchen's a mess. Pretend you don't see anything. I gotta refill my vitamins. I was forced awake at 3 a.m. by my cats, who I suspect have some pretty intense spring fever because they are waking up in the middle of the night and causing chaos. So I didn't sleep the best. I wasn't really a person today. I basically sat around all morning, didn't read, didn't work out, didn't do anything. And now I'm gonna pack my lunch and I'm gonna go to work pulling out containers. It's really great. Mushroom lentil pasta that Tom made last night for dinner that I didn't eat because I got home super late. So we're just gonna tap up some pasta. Since I work evenings and my commute's really long, I have to leave my house at like 9:30 a.m. and I don't get back until like 8:30, 9 o'clock if I'm lucky. So I have to pack many meals because I get really hungry if I don't. So that's exactly what I'm doing right now. I made these like rice barbecue tofu dishes on the weekend and they were delicious. So that is gonna be my second meal thanks to my husband leaving it for me. I did get into both of the books yesterday. I split up the reading a little bit 50-50. So I think I'm on like page 20 of Whose Names Are Unknown, and I think I'm also on like page 20 of What Blooms from Dust. And so far I'm really liking both of them. I have no idea what the story is going to be like with What Blooms from Dust. So far we are just following a man who I believe has gotten out of prison, and he's on his way home with a rifle with a single bullet that is destined for his twin brother. No idea why. So I'm really intrigued by that. I like the writing, I like the characters. I can tell that there was some research done. I didn't even show you, but delicious. His Names Are Unknown is just so good. It's so good. Her writing is so rich and compelling, and I'm really excited to keep going with it. So I got my two things. I feel like I still have some fruit at work and some yogurt, so I think I'm okay for snacks. I could bring an entire cucumber. I'm gonna bring an entire cucumber. This is like a peanut butter chocolate situation. They're like date bars. They're peanut butter layered. Oh, so good. So good. This is from the new Oshi Glows cookbook. Take an entire cucumber, and because I haven't really been eating lettuce, I'm gonna take some lettuce. And yes, I'm just literally taking them like this because I can't be bothered to cut them ahead of time. I have all the things at work that I need. Okay, I really gotta go. First I'm gonna check some water. Actually, I'm gonna make a coffee from my mug that my best friend got me. It has a quote from Sylvia Plath on it. I write only because there's a voice within me that will not be still. feel like I'm the only person who absolutely hates when it's brighter at night. Am I the only person that feels that way? I am so restless right now. I'm like stir crazy. I have animal fever, spring fever, because I am a tiny little animal with a lizard brain. Like, yeah, summer sure can be exciting, but this part sucks. It's also cold outside and I do not wear a coat. It literally snowed yesterday. I'm a fool. At least the sunset's really pretty. I'm gonna take the train home, mainly just because I really want to read and I can only read on the train. So I'm walking to the train station right now and I'm going to read What Blooms from Dusk.
It's been a week, but it feels so much longer. And knowing that you're not alone makes it harder. They say to wait as long as it takes, but you didn't wait. You're over there posting pictures beside her, and I'm still here learning how to live without you. It's not that easy, it's hard to believe that you're over me. Tell me, is it real love? Or is she just a shortcut? Was being alone too much, that you had to find a shortcut, a shortcut? I've tried everything, but there's no way around it, except for just one, but it seems like you found it. You moved on too fast without looking back, but I'm better than that. Tell me, is it real love? Or is she just a shortcut? Was being alone too much, that you had to find a shortcut?
Hello, we're almost at the end of the work week and I'm almost at the end of this book. And I thought I would give a little bit of a reading update just before I finish this book. This is The Thinker. I don't know how I feel about it, but that's not a bad thing. I'm not enjoying it. It's more just that I don't know what it is yet. I don't understand what I'm reading. I understand what I'm reading in terms of the plot, but the bigger picture hasn't come through yet. This book essentially starts in the midst of the Dust Bowl era. We are following a family. We are following two twin brothers, Jeremiah and Josiah. Jeremiah has just narrowly escaped the electric chair. He went away for murder, and he has this kind of special power, special ability where he flips a coin, and then I can't tell if that determines fate or if it reveals what is going to happen. Anyway, we see him just as he escapes, and he runs into a young boy named Peter, and they basically go back to Jeremiah's home to confront his brother. And then Black Sunday hits, and if you don't know what Black Sunday is, Black Sunday was the worst dust storm in history. That hits, and it hits the family, which includes Jeremiah, Josiah, their father, and Josiah's wife, Ellen, who also has like a history with Jeremiah. Anyway, in that dust, something happens. There's something in that dust that changes the personality of everybody, and everybody starts speaking very blunt truths. And then on top of that, they get really, really ill. And so that's where I'm at right now, which I know that's like, I'm like really far into the book, but that's basically what has happened. And there's been an introduction of another character who is a news reporter who I think might be inspired by Sonora Babb, which is really awesome. So yeah, I don't know quite yet how I feel about this book. I'm kind of thinking it's going to go a certain way, and if it goes that way, if it's done well, it'll be really cool. But I'm, again, not enjoying it. I really like the characters. I feel like the characters are probably the best part about this book. They really jump from the page. There are some sentences references and some themes and some moments that I feel like I could dig a little deeper into, which is always a great feeling when it comes to reading. I really enjoy that. I like a book that kind of makes me pause and think like, okay, what is the writer really trying to say here? I am really enjoying it, but I think I'm also kind of biased because I like this time period. I do think that this is a great representation of the themes of that time period and fate and kind of being caught up in this current and fault, essentially. You know, a lot of this book is wrapped up in guilt and whether or not they're bringing about their own fate, particularly the character of Jeremiah who can flip the coin. There's a lot of guilt there. He feels a lot of onus on what has happened in his life. So I'm really enjoying it. I am going to finish it today. And in terms of reading fiction for research, it is one of my favorite things to do, to read comp books that compare to the work that I want to write, just to kind of get a sense of what's already been done and what's out there. And also, I'm just such a big atmospheric reader and writer, and it just helps me to completely immerse myself in the time period or the story that I want to write. And so that often means listening to music that reminds me of the story, or watching Ken Burns' Dust Bowl on my lunch break because I just want to see these images and kind of have them in my brain when I sit down to write. I am an incredibly visual writer. If I cannot visualize it, really hard for me to force. And my flow state kind of that I get into is me really just like having the scenes in my head and just trying to describe them as quickly as possible. And so I'm really glad that I took this month to immerse myself in a ton of Dust Bowl writing. I'm feeling really good about the next steps. I think in terms of the next steps of what I'm gonna do, Roger's bringing his monkey. I am going to outline the book ever so slightly because I really just have discovered I'm not an outliner at all, and then get going, get writing. I think that in terms of research, my goodness, I've read so many books. The Worst Hard Time, which is like the quintessential history on the Dust Bowl era. I read Riding Like the Wind, The Life of Sonora Bab, which I really, really loved. I've read On the Dirty Plate Trail, which is her field notes from the migrant camps at the time period. This is essentially what Steinbeck took to read Grapes of Wrath. I've read Grapes of Wrath, and I've read a few Bonnie and Clyde stories. Go Down Together by Jeff Gwynne is a phenomenal book, and I read this a while ago. I've read like so many books on like this time period, and I don't have them all with me, so I'm probably forgetting a bunch, but I think I'm ready. I mean, that's not even including all of the online books that I've read and the articles that I've pulled from work and that I've read and things like that. Like I've done so much research, and I think it is time to stop procrastinating. I mean, not quite yet. I still have like a couple more weeks, but I'm feeling really good. I think, like I said, I'm going to finish up What Blooms from the Dust, and I'll give like one final little update to see how the ending landed. And I'm going to keep trucking away at Whose Names Are Unknown, which is actually currently at work. I haven't gotten too far into that one because it does read a little bit more like a classic, and so I really just I want to take my time with that one a little bit more. So I'm not going to rush through to try to finish it. If I finish it, that's great. If not, I'm probably just going to keep going with it for as long as I need to. There's no point in rushing through books. The whole point of consuming stories is to like immerse yourself in them and like settle into them a little bit more. Time to get into work and be a big girl. Look at my phone. I'm nearly done now. Oh, my cat just sneezed right by the camera. This is where he is. Look at him. Look at him. Hi, Goose. What are you reading? You look so grumpy. Goosey. Hello. I finished it. Oh boy. How do I feel about this? It did not end the way I thought it was going to. But I think that's because the way I thought it was going to end would have been wild. I don't think that would have been a good ending. This got a little cheesy, a little like, kindness saves everything, and that's a great theme. It's good, but it did get a little cheesy towards the end. I still really did enjoy it. I read it all the way through. Usually that's a very clear sign that I'm enjoying myself because I DNF books all the time. This really reminded me of The Snow Child. If you know that book, it's kind of a mystical tale set in Alaska. This felt like a mystical tale set in the Dust Bowl, and it was very much like a character drama. Very similar to The Snow Child, but The Snow Child is just exceptionally written and a very, very vivid, gorgeous book. This is like a less good version of that. I feel like if you understand the vibes of The Snow Child, you will understand the vibes of this book a little bit more. I still really liked it though, so I'm glad that I read it. I think it was really well researched. I liked the setting. I thought it came to life. And overall, I'm feeling good. One research book down. I did not complete the other research book, but that is okay, because I'm going to take my time with that one. And like I said, I think I'm just ready to start. I think I'm ready to start writing. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next video.